YouTube, it's Tone back with another one for you. Now, this one is a good one. So, we're going to go over some different concepts and ways to create a revocable living trust. Keep in mind the word trust in general basically means contract, and so you want these to represent what it is that you need them to do, because these are ultimately at the end of the day just instruments that help you to administer your estate and to execute certain actions. And so this puts you on par with something that a court could recognize, right? Because otherwise you're just talking to them. And really, when you go into court, all that matters is the paperwork. Court cannot proceed without the paperwork. If the judge doesn't have it in his hand, then he can't even make a ruling on anything because there's nothing to talk about. So these are how you get these things done. Also, we're gonna go over some different ways to collect all of your abandoned credits, which are basically represented as debt, right? So, we operate in a fiat debt-based currency system, meaning that debt is money. So all of these things that they're claiming that you owe are actually your abandoned credits that you have not endorsed and deposited yet. All right. And you do have to deposit them in order to be able to get a refund on them as well. All right. So, first page, claim your credits guide, year 2021 and onward. These steps are designed to guide you in claiming your credits from all accounts that you have utilized your social security number with and those that you did not. Each step must be completed before moving onward or the process will not work. This is time consuming and will need your dedicated attention to detail and simple math to calculate totals and bartering. Do not make up any kind of numbers when filling out your 1099Bs. All right. Keep in mind, this is for entertainment only. This is not legal advice. We don't do that because I'm not a lawyer and I couldn't do that for you. All right. So it says, do not gatekeep this information, pass it on, do not charge for this information. I don't charge for any of this shit aside from consultations and or if you have us create you a trust, because we do offer trust creation as well. It's a little bit different than what you're going to see here. I believe mine is better than this, but this is still for free and you can use it too as well. All right. So prepare. As you complete each step, place a check mark for completion. So number one, make 3 copies of your birth certificate, social security card, ID, driver's license, passport, etc. Create a revocable living trust. The template provided here, or you can go to lawdepot.com and create your own using any abbreviations of your name and include the EIN within the document of the trust, the common law or government EIN. All right, so we usually file ours with the Secretary of State via UCC1, and that serves as public notice. And then if you want to add anything, you can add it via UCC3 addendum, right? And so that's the easiest way to get that done. Uh, and also you can add and change anything in your trust whenever you need to. So use the trust templates to tailor the trust how you want. There is no wrong way or right way within the Schedule A trust property. Make sure to include your all capital letter name and spell it out in all capital letters in different variations. And social security number, as this will become property of the trust. All right. And so this is a crucial step too that I think a lot of people miss because, ultimately at the end of the day, when you're getting all these charges and tickets and all of these shits that you get from these, corporations parading as governmental agencies, ultimately at the end of the day, what they're doing when they're charging you with these things is trying to gain access to your estate in order to get credits to fund their operations. And mind you, they do need credits and funds to fund their operations, but there's better ways to go about it than fucking harassing people. You know what I'm saying? Or making up bullshit or calling things crimes when they're really not because there is no victims. And these are all different ways that they use to gain credit and to gain access to your estate. And so when you do these processes, you put your all capital letter name associated with your social security number into a private trust, which makes it impossible for them to access it unless they're going to be able to trick you out of it somehow, or make you believe that something else is going on when it really isn't. All right. So your social security number will become part of the trust, and they will not be able to access it any further. And if they try to use it in a commercial venue, then they're breaching trust, and that's a felony as well. So you will need to have an EIN for the trust, and can obtain one with the IRS on their website for free, and you can do that too. Make sure to print out the page and have a hard copy mailed to you, and they will mail you one after you get that filled out on the IRS online, and the shit is free. Takes like 15 seconds to get it done. So get the trust notarized by a notary where you live. Your bank may notarize it for you for free and sign it in purple ink. And I do use purple ink as well. So and I mean, you know that all of these different color inks represent something different. So you got red representing the live, living, breathing individual. You got blue representing commerce. Black represents a dead entity. And then you got purple ink, and that represents sovereignty. So number two, make one colored copy of the entire notarized trust for your records. Number three, make three colored copies of the certificate of trust page and notary page. Number four, go to your county clerk office and record the original notarized trust and ask for a certified copy. There may be a fee. Not all states require trust to be recorded. Do an online search for your state requirement. Right, and so we get ours recorded, like I said, via UCC1 with the Secretary of State, and that becomes part of the public record at that point. So step number two, do an online search for IRS 2848 PDF and IRS Form 56 PDF. All right, so second page, two. So we're doing 17 pages here. That's going to be the first half of this video. Then I'm going to do the next half in a couple days. So two, fill out the IRS 2848 and Form 56. Print it out so that you can get a wet signature sign of the documents. Examples provided in purple ink. Three, fill out the non-decedent letter and get it notarized and make three copies. Examples provided. Before notarizing your trust, take this letter with you so that it can be notarized as well. Number four, once you have filled out both the tax forms 28, 48, and 56, fax to uh, the IRS with the following: a copy of your birth certificate, copy of your social security card, copy of your ID driver's license, Form 2848, Form 56, non-decedent notarized letter, notarized trust page only, notarized certificate of trust page only. You will have a total of 10 pages that are faxed. Send a cover sheet as well. Find your state on the instruction form of the 2848 online search to know which office to fax it to. Certified return receipt mail to the Attorney General of your state. Attorney General letter provided. One, copy of birth certificate, copy of your social security card, copy of your notarized trust page only, copy of the notarized certificate of trust page only, copy of your ID license, copy, one color. And so these are all color copies. Keep that in mind, all right? And that's the whole point of even using different colored ink when you sign things, is to know so that way you know the original from any copies. One color copy of the non-decedent notarized letter. Number six, certified return receipt mailed to the Secretary of your state. State Secretary letter provided. Copy of your birth certificate, copy of social security card, copy of the notarized trust page only, copy of the notarized certificate of trust page only, copy of your ID license, color copy of the non-decedent notarized letter. Open a trust account with a bank or credit union. Credit unions are non-profit, member owned. Uh, and so if you're gonna open up a account with a bank, you're gonna do a non-interest bearing account. All right, that's gonna keep it all private. Remember that, that's a crucial element. So take the notarized copy of the trust with you. Company bank account resolution document provided. IRS EIN paper. Number eight, or open a trust account with Fidelity at fidelity.com. And so that's another, aspect of the game that that you can utilize, because you can monetize your BC at any point. And so when you become the owner and the admin of that particular document, then you can shop that around to any of these agencies as well. So Fidelity is a good broker to take that to. So you will need to input the information from the trust name, EIN, common law EIN. You are the trustee and grantor. Names and birthday of your beneficiaries. So, your beneficiaries are going to be listed on your in your trust document as well. So that'll go into one of the information fields as you move along there. So number 3, what do we got here? So prepare as you complete each step. Place a check mark for completion. Number 1, gather all bank statements for the 12-month period of the year you are claiming credit for. So this is going to show you how to get back all of your bank deposits, how to get back, the value of whatever your mortgage is at times 10, all right? So if you owe, 120,000 for your mortgage, you'll be able to recoup 1.2 million for that. All right, if you owe 40,000 on your car, you'll be able to recoup 400,000 for that. And so this is going to show you how to get that all done, all right? And so this ultimately at the end of the day is able to be done due to the fact that we use fiat debt-based currency for one, and then we also utilize what's called fractal reserve banking, where you can monetize up to 10 times any one tangible piece of what do you call it, property. And so the instrument is going to be the promissory note, which would be either the application for the loan, which becomes a promissory note, and that becomes a marketable security, and or the application for the mortgages and things like that. And that is what is actually the money. So that is the money. All right, because it doesn't exist otherwise. So gather all the bank statements for the 12-month period, do a spreadsheet with Excel or handwritten outline of all your bills and services that the account was opened with your social security number and the people that you paid. Do not include payments that you received back or gifted, only what you are owed back. So leave the community business out. So number 3, make sure you have for the business company the full name, email address, phone number, street address, and your account number from the places that you did business with. Number 4, add the total amount for each account separately, then take the total and multiply it by 10. Example, Spectrum account, $30 per month is 30 times 12, which equals 360. So 360 is your proceeds. So 360 times 10 is 3,600. 3,600 is what you will barter. Make note of this. You can now easily go back to these numbers within the steps. And so that's the easy way to multiply it. You want to try to use even numbers whenever you can to make it simple. You do not use the change mark. So if you're going to do 3,650 cents, you're going to round up. Anything that's 5, you're going to round up. Below 5, which would be 4, you round down. All right. And that's just to make it easy when you're filling out the tax forms and shit. So you're not leaving change out there like that. So, example, when you received a car loan, your car, your house, etc., you take the entire loan amount and only multiply it by 10 to barter. Example, ABC mortgage, 120,000. This is your proceeds, and this is how you're going to fill it out on the 1099-B. And then so it'll be 120 times 10, which is 1.2 million. So you would enter 1.2 million, and that will be the amount that you will barter. Example, Social Security accounts, employment, food stamps, mortgage, rent, cell phone, cash assistance, insurance premiums, cable, internet, bank accounts, etc. And this is how you will fill all of these out. Example, payments made to individuals, businesses with no social security number involved, Zelle, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, etc. And so those are how you will fill those out. Do not make up any transactions. And if you're gonna try to be a scammer with this shit, you will end up in the fucking feds, bro. I could promise you that. And there's no need to be a fucking scam artist when you're doing this. This shit is all legit. So cut that shit out. Just just do a good business and you can get your money back and call it a day. There's no need to be a scammer when you know what you're doing with this shit. So preparation must be done for each year. you are claiming credits. You may end up leaving credits behind at the company, and the company can claim the credit on your behalf. It is your money. Why not claim it? And so that's something to keep in mind too. So 3 years go by and you don't go claim all of your abandoned credits. That becomes abandoned credit. And then the company can fill out a 1099-A and claim all of your abandoned credits, which this is what they do. So go ahead, because 1099-A, the A stands for abandonments and acquisitions. And if you don't claim your abandoned credits for all these accounts, the only other person that knows what the amount and the fucking account numbers are is the companies. Why do you think these CEOs are getting fucking $10 million bonuses every year? Because you're leaving all your credits behind for them to pick up. All right. And they're not going to fucking tell you nothing. So, step three, create an account with 1099.com. And I highly recommend that you do create an account 1099 online. So that way you can always just fill it out online. Super, super fast, super easy. So click on the classic view, the top portion of the page on the left-hand side, click on forms. You click the new forms, click 2021. And this is how you go back, because you can go back 3 years. You can even go back further if you know that you left some abandoned credits behind at different companies from years before 2021 as well. So number four. So here you see, this is telling you how to fill it out on 1099 online. So click 1099B, click add payer and fill your information. On the right hand side of the box, it says applicable checkbox on form 8949. Click the down button and click B. On line 1A, type in signature exchange for funds excess. Excess means the funds that you basically left there as extra funds. That's all your abandoned credits. 1099. 10 online. 1B, enter the beginning state of the year, which would be example January 1st, 2021. And so this is you backdating the actual filings, all right? Because you can go back and do that as well. So you can retroactively collect all of your abandoned credits for the past 3, 4 years like that, times 10, all right? So keep that in mind. So on line 1B, enter the beginning date of the year, January 1st, 2021. On line 1C, enter the end date of the year, example, December 31st, 2021. And I mean, there's multiple ways to do this too, because we do this, different in like a different fashion, but this is a pretty good way to get it done as well. So click the box on the left in blue that says add recipient. 14, add the recipient. It would be the business. Fill in all portions of the form except the TIN SSN. Instead, click the box that says TIN not provided. Complete the entire form and click add. This will generate the business you paid. On the next box down that says account number. Now keep this in mind too, that if you're doing this for like a criminal case or something like that, you're using 1099-C and they don't want to give you the TIN or EIN for the courthouse and they want to act like they don't have one and shit, then you can just put that the TIN was not given to you and you can still discharge any of the bullshit just like that. Uh, and on the next box down that says account number, enter it in. If you do not have the account number, leave the numbers that are already generated on the screen. Because when you go to fill these out, 1099 online, it'll generate random numbers for you unless you put in the actual account number that you have with that particular company. So it says if they don't give you one, then you can just leave the ones that are already created for you. So 16, in the box that says QSIP number, put in your social security number. 17, and so that's the same thing too to do with like credit cards and things like that too. The actual account number, if they don't give you one, is going to be the QSIP is going to be your social. So 17 on line 2, check the box that says ordinary. 18 on line 13, enter the calculated amount you are going to barter. So it'll be the amount of either the bill or the amount that you spent with them times 10. 19, leave all other portions of the forms blank. 20, click save and add a new 1099B. Continue this process until you are finished with each account. When you are finished with your last form, click save and continue. At the very bottom of the page, this is a dollar amount number to be accepted and approved that is bold highlighted. You can file up to 100 accounts. After 101, they must be paper mailed to the IRS. Number 21. There will be a new screen that generates where you will see all of the 1099B forms that you completed. 22, look for the box that says select all on the left and click it, and it will select all of your 1099B forms. Look for the box that says USPS mail, and it will select all of your 1099B forms. Click submit for this payer. You will be redirected to a pay screen. The price is about $4.91 to file each of your 1099Bs, so be prepared to pay the entire amount up front as it will be processed within that day. And these shits go super, super fast. Within like 3 days, after you file these online, you'll get your email, your freaking accepted email from the IRS. So after you pay the fee, wait about an hour and log back into the account and make sure that you stay in classic view. On the top right side, click the blue plus sign. Click Generate Summary. The summary page of your 1096 will appear. Click the blue drop-down box that shows payer next to it, and your 1096 will appear. Download a copy for your records, as you will use these numbers in box 5 for your IRS 1041 form. Box 5 in the amount you have to file on the 1041 to obtain. So keep that in mind. So this is just one of the steps that you're gonna have to add on before you file your 1040 or your 1041. So here we got. So you have to wait for your 1099Bs to be approved to move on to the next step. So here it says the next step will be step 4. Go to Tax Act and create an account using your information. If you already have an account, look for the tax year 2021, click products and services, click businesses, click estates and trust. The price to file is $124.99 per tax year. Go through the prompts, fill in your information as the fiduciary. Your title will be the trustee. Use the name, address, and phone number you used when you filed your 2848 form. More than likely, if you do not you have a PO box, you used your address, so that information goes in. So whatever information that you used on your IRS 2848 form is going to go into this particular section. So put the name of the trust exactly as it appears in the IRS form you received from obtaining your EIN. Follow all prompts by clicking either no or to continue until you reach a page that has all transaction amounts at zero. And it's asking you to file the zero return. Do not file anything until uh, do not file anything you are not finished. Next, click the help question mark sign on the right, type in 1099B and click on the full link for it, and it will bring you to a page. 1. Click Add 1099B, description, signature, exchange for funds access. And so this right here should just show you, the name, description, signature, exchange for funds access. This right here tells you that your signature is what created the excess funds. All right. So these are all things that you need to keep in mind, all right? And so that's the power of your actual signature. There is no fucking money. Your signature is the money. So put the date 1/1/2021, 12/31/2021. You will put the date for each year, 2022, 2023, etc. January 1st to the December 31st. Uh, Return that you do not, so pay attention for the year that you are submitting. So 4, checkbox ordinary, click continue, check B in the box, click continue. When the next page appears, click continue. When the next page appears, click continue. Uh, Click the first box, federal and or state withholding, continue. In the box federal tax withheld, put in the entire dollar amount for the 1096 from box 5. Continue. When the next page appears, click continue. Do not add anything else and just continue. Click the help question mark sign to the right and type in fuel. Click fuel tax credit. When the new page appears, click the first link, non-taxable use of gasoline. In the first box, enter 30,000. Click continue. By clicking continue until you have reached the e-filing print form 8453FE, you will need to print this form out and sign it in purple ink as the trustee and scan it back. All right. So this is a pretty fucking strange instruction thing here, but it's pretty detailed. Pretty detailed. So then here we got the form 56. So some of you guys should already be familiar with this 56 form. If you got the book Magic Money, you should already understand how all of this shit works here. And so the 56, this is so you can use the 56 or the 56F. 56F is 56 fiduciary form. And so this is when you can assign somebody to be the fiduciary of your account to execute, a certain transaction. Because sometimes for certain actions to take place, you have to actually assign somebody to be the fiduciary of the account if that's not already established fact that they are actually that already. So so here you had the 56F, the the name of the person for whom you are acting. So here you would put first, middle, last name and the trust name, and then you put in the EIN, social security numbers without dashes. So the decedent social security number is going to be without dashes. So that's the closed account. That's used to offset. And then your address that you're going to put in here is going to be the one you have on file with the IRS. Then you go down to valid trust instrument amendments. Then box G, trustee for whatever your trust is called per SS5 and IRS Form SS4. And then check off all of the boxes here because you need them to have the authority to execute any of the transactions pertaining to everything that you see in these particular sections here. And unless you check those boxes off, they're not going to have the authority to do so. And then here, number 5, if the authority as fiduciary does not cover all tax periods, check here, nunc pro tunc. Nunc pro tunc means retroactively from the date being now all the way back in time. And then you put in your 18th birthday and to continue until further notice. So this is kind of giving them authority from now, going back in time, and all the way into the future until otherwise stated. And so that's what that's saying right there. Hang on, let me change out my earbud real quick. All right. So we'll go to the next page. So this is the bottom half of the 56 form. So here we go to part 2, revocation or termination of notice. Says check other, first, middle, last is sole senior fiduciary correcting all records on file. So you're using this form in order to be able to allow them access or even to allow yourself access to be able to correct all of the records from pretty much the beginning of time or when you reach the age of majority, which was the age of 18. And I mean, it may even be different in different states too. So you can look that up when somebody reaches what they consider to be the actual age of majority. And then part 3, court and administrative proceedings, registry of vital records for your state, because that is an actual court. Date birth certificate was filed, the date proceeding initiated, date birth certificate was filed. The address of court is the vital statistics records address, and then you'll put their address, and the date will be your date of birth and the time that you were born at, and place of other proceedings would be your place of birth. And so that's how that form would look there. So then next we got power of attorney and declaration of representative. So this is IRS Form 2848. So you got your taxpayer information here, first, middle, last, care of the address, city, state, and zip. Taxpayer identification number is going to be the social. You'll put your phone there. The representative is going to be first or last, first, and middle. And so that'll be, the way that you're going to be writing your name there. So it's going to be different than first, middle, last. That's the taxpayer name. and the representative is going to still be you, but the name's going to go in last, first, middle. The CAFR number is going to be none. The PTIN is going to be the EIN for your particular trust there. And then the lower half of that page is 2848. You're going to see all these different forms here: income, employment, excise tax, payroll, estate gift, transcript, account, return transcripts, estate master, all of these things. Uh, so that's what you're going to put in that particular section. The 1040, 1040V, 56, 56F, 1099A, 1099B, 1099C, 1098, 1096, 1099 miscellaneous KT, right? I'd also throw in there the 1040ES as well. Records of account, instrumentalities, tendering of public and private matters, endorsements, and endorsements. So you got 941, all schedules: 1041, 709, 706, 9932, 1099 OID, 1099 DIV, and 1099 INT. And then so you got here for civil matters, criminal matters, color of law matters, securities and banking matters, master ledger, administrative matters. So for these particular actions, like criminal cases and shit like that, these are all different GSA bond forms that are filled out and things, and treasury forms, right? And so this is another reason why you can discharge all these criminal cases through the Treasury Department too, as well, because they're all actually commercial actions that are taking place, and not necessarily criminal matters like they like to call them. All right, so for these you got CP 575, 1099 CAP, then you got the GSA forms and the OMB forms and the Treasury forms. And for all of these, you're going to put your year of birth until 2030 here, it appears to have there. So authorized disclosure to third parties, access my IRS records via intermediate service provider, substitute or add representatives, sign a return. So this POA, power of attorney, is being filed pursuant 26 CFR 6012-1A 5, which requires a POA to be attached to a return if a return is signed by an agent by reason of continuous absence from the U.S. for a period of at least 60 days prior to the date required for filing return of taxpayer as authorized. And then so check here at the bottom, other acts authorized. You got civil matters, criminal matters, color of law matters, security and banking matters, trust matter, bankruptcy, master ledger account, administrative matters, interstate commerce, tendering of public and private instruments. So this is putting you in the driver's seat to be able to execute all of the actions pertaining to any of these particular matters that may need to be handled for your particular trust or estate. So then here at the bottom page, so that was just the first page, I guess. Here, so here on page 2, we got what do we got? Looks like most of that shit is left blank here. It looks like it's just for you to sign and date there. So we'll go to the next page. Declaration of Representatives. So here you got the trustee and the licensing and jurisdiction. 34. So then here we have the letter for the Department of Treasury. All right. So here, this is going to, it looks like Kansas. Now keep in mind, I usually deal with 1500 Pennsylvania Ave in Washington. but you can deal with the Department of Treasury in Kansas. That is the one that that's the one that the yellow brick road leads you to. Have you guys ever seen the fucking Wizard of Oz, bro? I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. This is where that shit brings you. All right. Not that many people can even put those pieces of the puzzle together, but that whole fucking Wizard of Oz thing was crazy. But and it is funny. And if you know, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. If you know, you know. So the Department of Treasury, Internal Revenue Service, Kansas City, Missouri here. You got notice request to change status from decedent to non-decedent. Now, this essentially is meaning that you figured out the fucking game. You want to be in the driver's seat and you would like to take your life back into your own hands, and you're not listed as a fucking brain dead idiot like a lot of other people are and don't even know that they are. All right. So this is what that's telling them to put you from a not from a decedent to a non-decedent, meaning that you're a live living individual. So, dear sir or madam, here are the documents that you require as proof that I am a non-decedent. Statutory claim in accordance with IRS Manual 21.7, 13.3.2.2.2, 1701 Sestu KV Act, and Sestu KE Act essentially means beneficiary. Sestu KV means beneficiary. Trust Act. An infant is the decedent of an estate or grantor, and an infant is the debtor. All right, so keep that in mind. So the word infant in general means debtor. Is the decedent of an estate or grantor, owner or truster of a trust, guardianship, receivership, or custodianship that has yet to receive a social security number. So please update my file to indicate non-decedent that I am a living and of age majority. Please record it in your database and acknowledge my request by returning me a letter of acknowledgement from your office that this task has been completed. The address above may be used to reach me. I am no longer liable and cannot be held liable for maritime liens being enforced against me, and two, securities being taken out against the estate. Further, all maritime liens being enforced against me, the living soul, I hereby claim invalid, null, and void ab initio, non pro tunc. So ab initio meaning from the date of initiation, non pro tunc means going back from the date, from the beginning of time. And note that I am the infant without a social security number, which makes me the agent and beneficiary of the trust, being that the IRS works in admiralty. The IRS, according to its own code, can no longer enforce maritime liens against me. The living man, woman, soul, as I have now claimed, is I am not lost at sea. And so that's one of the biggest things too, is that using the maritime literally has their they fucking essentially commercially trafficked everybody and has them all marked as lost at sea. And so this is why they're able to play the games that they play in this country, is because literally nobody's home. All right, because they got everybody marked off as being either lost at sea or somewhere else other than actually here. So that's why you got zombies walking around everywhere. So nor am I a decedent vessel in commerce, 1707 says to KV Act. Pursuant to the IRS majority status is determined by the state of residence. You will need to verify with the state where the child resides for that determination. So CPLR 105J, age of majority changed to 18. So you have to add your state code. This example is for New York. So you got to look up for what your state's age of majority is. Sometimes it's 7 years old, sometimes it's 11. Here, in particular, New York would be 18. So the legislature has added a new subdivision J to CPLR 105. The subdivision defines the word infant and infancy when used within the context of the CPLR. Under the new definition, an infant is one who has not yet attained the age of 18. So you want to make sure that you're familiar with the codes and statutes regarding that particular subject, as far as whether you're an infant or not. And then here at the bottom of the page, it says documents enclosed: driver's license, social security card, certificate of live birth, and non-decedent notice. Thank you for your time and attention to this matter. So here you got the grantor, executor, president, director, heir, sole, shareholder, chief executive officer. Uh, and so those will be all of your titles. You got your name signed by. and then you got your name in blue. You got a red fingerprint put on there. That's how I would know that it was actually you. Then you got you'll put your state there. You'll edit this document to fit your particular state because you're gonna need it to fit with what your notary is working with, and then uh, and then just take it from there. Get that shit notarized and send that all in. So then here you got your first name, your last name. Uh, this is for the Secretary of State. So this will be Secretary of State name, whatever, your state Secretary of State office to the Secretary of State, assigns or successors. Respectfully update your records appropriately with the enclosed information. A new trustee has been designated for all adhesion contracts associated with this particular Social Security number, and and well, any and all adhesion contracts associated with the Social Security number are hereby canceled, void, and terminated. This is a notice. This is a notice to please govern yourself and any others under your authority accordingly. So this is basically letting them know that, because they like to, but they'll never outwardly say this or never publicly say this, but they act like by you engaging in commerce somehow puts you under the jurisdiction of maritime, which makes you subject to all of their codes and statutes that they call laws. And by doing that and not ever really telling you what it is that's going on, documents like this would kind of put them in a position, especially when it's sent to them in a affidavit format, which means that if they had a rebuttal, they would have to rebut in another affidavit format as well, where they're swearing under the penalty of perjury that what they're saying is a fact, and they're gonna go ahead and stand on that under the penalty of perjury, which puts them, in risk of either jail time, fines, and things like that for outwardly lying in the form of an affidavit. And so that's the importance of sending your notarized documents in the form of an affidavit, is that it kind of puts them in a position where they either have to fucking put up or shut up. And most of the time, they're just going to shut up and they're not going to send you anything back, but you'll know that they got it, and it just is what it is. And so that's the reason why you have signed return receipts and things like that for whatever you send these people, just to have proof that they in fact received your documents and things like that. But as far as anything regarding like trust and things like that, I mean, this is why we file them, on the Secretary of State website via UCC1. This way, it's filed on a public record. You have your filing number and all of that shit too. So you could always upload all of these documents that you have notarized, onto your UCC filing and just upload it that way as well. But however you want to do it, you can send it through the mail and all that shit too if you want. I would rather just file it via UCC1, and then but this is to address the Secretary of State, and there's a few more agencies that have to get notified as well that we're gonna go through here. So here you have the Attorney General. So you can also notify the governor, the sheriff's department, and things like that too as well. All right, and then also the comptroller's office. So the comptroller is going to be like the state treasury department. And so all of these people, you want to go ahead and get them noticed as well as soon as you get your trust created, and to let them know what the stipulations and details associated with your trust are, and because notice is 100%, one of the most fucking important things to get done, because even though you get it all filed doesn't mean that they know of it, and they haven't been properly notified of it either, so they can continue to knowingly commit treasonous acts against you because you don't have any proof that you in fact already put them on notice. So notice is one of the most important things, not just getting it done. You do have to put them on notice. So to the Attorney General, assigns and successors, respectfully update your records appropriately with the enclosed information. A new trustee has been designated, and all adhesion contracts associated with the Social Security numbers are hereby canceled, void, and terminated. This is a notice to please govern yourself and any others under your authority accordingly. So this is for the Attorney General's office. So then here it says everything that is highlighted in red and with brackets, you have to change and format it back in black ink only. Wet ink, sign the dates and your signature in purple ink. Only two documents require you to sign in front of the notary, and you need to make three color copies of the notarized documents. Anything that is in all capital letters must be in all capital letters. So keep that in mind too. You need to follow the format that you see in this document. If it's in upper lowercase, put it in that. If it's in all caps, put it in that. And because it does make a difference because they mean two different things. It's two different languages. So anything in upper and lowercase must be in that format. While correcting the portions with your information, the document should automatically reformat. If it does not, just tweak it a little so the page are where they need to be. This trust document has 21 pages. We're going to go over the first page of the 21-page trust document, and then in the next video we'll go over the rest of them. So this trust has 21 pages total, not including this page. If you put yourself as the beneficiary of the trust, uh, if you put yourself as the beneficiary of the trust, there has to be two trustees. As a trustee, the trust states that you will be compensated anyway. Remove parts that you do not want within the section tables. If you do not have children and a close friend, family member, loved one as the beneficiary, uh, the all capital letter name needs to sign how you normally would any documents. The trustee needs to sign the first name and the last name. If you have any middle name, spell it accordingly. If you have no middle name, then spell it the way that you see it in this document here. So here we'll go over the first page of the trust document. So what you see here, I know a lot of people have never seen a trust document. You wonder what the fuck it is. You hear about it all the time. You know that rich people have them and you wonder why. This is why. So certified declaration of living trust indenture. So one, Jane Doe, presently of the Flower County, California. This grantor settler trust declare and make this revocable living trust the revocable living trust. So you're basically stating what it is that's taking place here, right? And then so these are going to be all the rules and stipulations associated with your trust. The word trust and contract, same exact fucking word. Only difference is that you're putting it on paper and you're making all of the rules slash stipulations that are going to be associated with this particular trust. You can set it up however you want, however you want. All right. So this trust indenture is made on the day of and between 2024. Jane Marie, Jane Doe, hereinafter referred to as the settler grantor interchangeably, any given variations of the name, and Jane Doe. Any given variations of the name interchangeably hereinafter referred to as trustee, as sovereign state citizen. I wouldn't put that shit in there. I would probably change that verbiage. All right. If you guys need a trust created, hit me up. I mean, I've never seen a better trust than mine, to be honest with you. So collectively, and is for the sole purpose of announcing the status, religious society, nationality, birthright, rights, heredit, hereditament. I don't know what the hell that is. Et applicable and of for the settlers and their trustors, assigners, consigners, co-signers, beneficiaries, and any household dwellers of the settlers deems fit and is subject to the Declaration of Independence 1776, the Articles of Confederation 1777. So they're making themselves. So you see what's happening here is that they're making themselves subject to these particular acts and things like that. You can or cannot put them in your trust if you want, right? So the Constitution for the United States of America and the Bill of Rights, 1791, and over 225 years of American case law. So they're making themselves subject to all of these things here. So both prior to and after the undeclared federal corporate United States government bankruptcies of 1930, 1938, and international law and treaties, this trust is created by the settler, and all property, titles, and assets thereof is exchanged to and accepted by the trustees on behalf of the beneficiaries. This revocable living trust hereinafter called the trust establishes a declaration, a proclamation, a notice by affidavit, and is affirmed in the form of a revocable living trust organization. This expression is created on and for this record by trust indenture and is authorized to exist in contract law, and it is agreed by the trustee that once the acknowledgement for this trust indenture is signed by all parties and or additional property and or assets is acknowledged and exchanged into the trust thereafter. The property and or assets will be immediately administered by the trustee as he or she sees fit, and it is further understood that this trust shall function through the trustee, acting as a managing director, holding full title for the benefit of the same for this living trust. The name of this trust shall be JMD, hereinafter called trust, hereinafter referred to as the trust under the trust indenture. This trust may incorporate public nominees for any given durational length of time and may be used interchangeably throughout its existence. The background, the title, grantor, settler, property owns, and so now it's going to go into who owns what and different aspects of the Constitution. It actually appears to be going down here. So you don't necessarily have to, unless you want to detail any specific aspects of law, it doesn't have to be part of this here. I would be careful with putting different aspects of law and the Constitution in there because then it's going to make them able to drag you into any of their legal proceedings if they decide to, because you made yourself subject to their fucking laws in this. So I don't know who actually created this, but I would, personally, I wouldn't do it like that. I would take out everything related to any of their commercial law structures because that really has no bearing in this particular document, in my personal opinion. But here it is. All right, so as far as the like getting the taxes back, 1099s and all that shit was fire. I don't know about this, particular trust document. Personally, I wouldn't use it. I mean, I might use the structure and change that up a little bit. So this is the first page. We're gonna go over the next 21 pages and the rest of this document in the next video. So that's what I got for you for now. Uh, what is it? It's a game of it's a game of chess. Stop playing checkers with these clowns. That's what I got for you for now. Until we meet again.